saint. No, I'm not a saint. Oh, no, it doesn't make sense. Oh, no, I don't understand. When things are good, I don't believe that they're for real. I really wish I could.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Bone here, and I do apologize about the late nature of this video. I've been saying I'm going to make this video for about 5 days, maybe, if I actually cared to look at how long ago I tweeted out saying I was making a video. A lot of stuff's been going on this week, and I've just been very busy and very stressed out. Haven't been playing that much Counter-Strike. Got my account up to Nova 2 on my account that I primarily play on. Otherwise, not much else is happening, other than I have been talking to a potential sponsor called EarlyNinja. Now, let me explain what they are. They are a company or a website that basically holds developers accountable for games that are in early access. So, for example, when you think of a game that went early access or got Steam greenlit, and what game comes to mind? Well, to me, Space Engineers. Yeah, Space Engineers was a really rocky start to the game because the developers got a lot of money because it had a lot of hype. The concept was amazing, but they kind of abandoned the project after a little while, and after the community came under fire, or they came under fire from the community, they finally got back into developing it. Now, I want to talk a little bit about how EarlyNinja works as a company. Now, also, they are founded by gamers in the favor of gamers. They want us to have the highest quality game possible, especially even in early access, without risking us losing all our money. Now, how do they help us not risk losing all our money? Well, you pay full price for the game first, but the developers get money in stages. So, if they bail out on whatever stage, then you get a refund for whatever stage it's at, and then on. So, let's say Space Engineers goes dormant for a year. Well, after the first 2 updates, you'd be pretty close to almost a full refund, if not a full refund, on that point. And EarlyNinja has a very high quality control for all the products they release on their library. Now, I will say they are launching summer 2016, and if you sign up on their website right now, you will get a 5% off your first purchase in summer of 2016 when they officially launch. Now, how do they hold the developers accountable for all the stuff? Well, they give the developers money in stages, so each month or week, they get a little bit of money for their work. And if they release a patch that works, they get their money. If they blow off that patch or blow off that stage, they don't get their money and they become under question until they actually update or they back out completely and the users get their refunds. Now, EarlyNinja also holds a standard of having scheduled updates. So it's not going to be like an update on Tuesday and then they say we'll have an update in roughly a week, and so it shows up the following Friday and then we'll have another update in 2 weeks. No, they have scheduled updates. Now, they don't specify on how often the updates have to be, but it's probably to the developer's choice as long as they are fixing the bugs that arise with each update or ones that were not resolved in the current update that they just put out. Now, also, they do have a milestone system that allows the updates to basically choose what stage they are or what milestone they're at according to if they back out, then you get that much of a refund. Now, when you think of a game that got greenlit or basically got abandoned after a little while of updates, or a few updates basically, what game comes to mind to you? I'd like to hear that in the comments, but what comes to mind for me at least, especially for the greenlight aspect, is Space Engineers. That game exploded onto Steam, got a lot of hype behind it, very buggy in the very first few stages, and then after the amount of money came in to all the developers, they realized they made a load of money, and they ended up kind of abandoning the project in a very buggy state, and they lost a lot of people to the game, and also they got a lot of hate from the community and very negative reviews. So once they realized that, they came back to the game, started updating it again, and they are now a very successful, or at least Space Engineers is a very successful game. Now, DayZ, that one is still in early access after 2 years, available on really, if you think it's going to be actually in a full build. H1Z1, that's a excellent game no matter what. It's just they split it into 2 different games at this point because they saw there's 2 type of people who play it. There's the type of people who play it for Battle Royale, and then there's the type of people who play it for the base game that's just basically zombie survival at that point. Now, around this, I've been mostly focusing on Steam Greenlight and games that were abandoned very early on Steam. But Kickstarter is no exception, and they've been under fire recently by people who use Kickstarter and have been scammed by games, especially the one like Yogbox, I think it was, where they basically took about $100,000 from their users and kind of said, well, we used the money on an artist, he didn't do enough work, and he got paid, and so we're out of money, and we're just going to drop the game. Now, there is no proof that they actually hired an artist, from my understanding, but they basically ruined their reputation at this point for their game, and pretty much whatever they do now. But Kickstarter's been a place where a lot of people have been scammed by people who posted a Kickstarter project with amazing visuals and a great looking gameplay and stuff like that, and it ends up being a complete trash game, or it doesn't even get posted. And then basically the people who donated $500 to have their name in the credits and have access to early access and all this other stuff, they got scammed out of about $500. And Kickstarter does very little to regulate this, because there is very little way to prove if they actually spent the money on the developers or whatever they said, because it's all kind of a digital thing, digital development and all, so it's very easy to just say, oh, yeah, well, we paid it out and we didn't really get the product back, and so, or the amount of work back in return, and so we're out of money, we got to cancel the project. Sorry for everyone who donated or backed our project, but it's out. So that's a long story short for Kickstarter. But EarlyNinja, like I said, holds all the developers accountable, stays in close contact with every single developer and studio that backs a project or is working on a project, and you, as the gamer, has a very safe way of playing early access titles with a almost guaranteed quality game coming out. Now, also, they do have your standard 15-day no questions asked refund policy that a lot of other major platforms have, but the early access market has been fairly unmonitored by people who have it on their platform. So Steam, they don't really monitor early access, to be honest, and we all know that at this point. Let's say Origin, they are EA owned, so they kind of just do all their own games. But Kickstarter is another one, and there's just a variety of other platforms out there that have their games. Now, I'm not saying that all early access games are bad, because look at Minecraft. That was an early access game back in InDev and Alpha and Beta, and it's now one of the biggest, if not the biggest or largest games in the world at this point. DayZ, very popular. Counter-Strike, that was an early access game. Counter-Strike 1.6 was originally a mod for Half-Life 2. Or Half-Life, I forget which it was. But now look at it. It's Counter-Strike Global Offensive is one of the largest esports games in the world currently. I don't know if it's bigger than Call of Duty right now, but it is going to be there in the near future at the rate esports teams are investing into Counter-Strike. Look at FaZe. They bought their team for $700,000. And the big CSGO major is going on right now. I'm following that very closely. And there's just so much money to be in popular games, and some games start in early access. But this is a way, as the gamer, you have a safer way of backing early access projects and getting a quality product in return or getting your money back. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share this, because I think this site needs a lot more attention than what they are getting, from my understanding. But they have a brilliant idea, launching summer 2016. If you do want to get in contact with the owners of the site, their information is on their website, and I'll have an email address in the description. Also, link to the website is in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you liked it. If you did not like it, please drop a dislike. And also, comment your first game that comes to mind when you think of an early access or a scammed game that you've ever come across. Also, guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, happy gaming, and I do apologize about the lateness of this video. Anyway, guys, happy gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one.